anybody's time. So first of all, I want to welcome you guys all to tonight's team call. Tonight we have a super awesome guest speaker on our call which I never told him this, but I have been wanting to ask him to speak to you guys to, get on this team call for so long. And then finally at Summit this past year when we were in Nashville, I was leaving the Shakeology bar with 2 or 3 of our other teammates, and I turned behind me, and there Caleb was, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Was that when I was sitting or hiding behind the garbage can? I just was trying to eat my lunch.
I was like, I have to go introduce myself. And they were like, you can do it. And they were like giving me this pep talk. And I'm like, okay. And I walk up and I'm like shaking. I'm like, hi, I'm Erica. And I know you've probably met 1,000 coaches at this thing, and I told Caleb all about.
You were not shaking.
I was. I really was really nervous.
No, you weren't.
So I learned of Caleb. I was on YouTube one day and I stumbled across this really awesome videos and I was like, wow, this guy is awesome. And so Caleb, I implemented some of your videos into my team's training because I think they're so amazing. They are all the questions that everybody wants to know, and they're a little bit better than Beachbodies. I'm sorry. So We see your face a lot. We see your face a lot in our team trainings. And then I went over on Facebook and I found you, and I followed you for quite a bit of time now. And the reason why I asked you on this call tonight, and why the team was so in favor of me, reaching out to you and asking you, is just because you're so unapologetically you. You're so real on social media and you put yourself out there and people love you for it. And I think that sometimes that's the hardest part about being a coach is putting yourself out there, but being the real you and not just being what is, supposed to be a Beachbody coach. So I respect you for that. Our team respects you for that so much. And I'm just going to let you take the floor and do your thing.
Cool. Okay. Well, is this that crazy time where I get to talk? Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, I'm so excited. No. I am excited. I don't know why I said no there. Sorry. I'm starting off by apologizing. The worst way to start public speaking. Okay. So anyway, I'm Caleb. Thanks for having me here, guys. I'm super excited. Hope you guys realize how much I needed this call tonight. I've been in a lull for the past couple days, and I realized something. I am doing team calls every night, almost every single night, and I love doing team calls. And it's what keeps me fired up and going. It's how for some reason, I get charged up by pouring out into other people. And I realized I haven't done a team call for a long time. All of my people either canceled or I had a day off here or whatever. So this is my first team call in a long time. I'm like, yeah! I'm super excited. So it's great to be here. I don't take these calls lightly. I know how important they are for bringing the team together. And, when you're all together learning something, or you're all together just being together, like at Summit with 25,000 coaches, awesome. There's something special about it. There's something really cool about it. And so the fact that I get to kind of lead tonight's call is humbling. And I'm thank you, Erica, for having me here and coming and talk to me while I was hiding behind the garbage can. She literally found me in a dumpster. No, but it's great to be here, guys. Tonight we're talking about something that's near and dear to my heart because, like she said, a big part of who I am is just me being me. And a lot of people, they're like, "Wow, you're just like you are on your videos in person." And it's because that's who I am. I'm energetic. I'm fun. I have I want to throw stuff at people, and not literally sometimes, but not usually. And I like having that real connection with people, and that's my brand, and keeping it real. I know sometimes you see me hashtag at the end of my post on posts where I'm like, dude, today sucked. Today I'm having a horrible day. Hashtag keep it real. Because so often, okay, who's ever seen a Beachbody coach post nothing but amazing stuff like glitter and lipstick and unicorns and just perfect hair and my makeup artist and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, tell us about the crap in your life that makes you real. Who's ever heard that? Who's ever felt that way before? Yes. Put your hands up. Everybody's felt that. Come on. And it's like, that's not what people, I mean, that's nice to see some of that. And it's great to see the good stuff that can happen, be it through what we're doing as coaches, but people relate to the dirt. People relate to who you really are. I'm not saying that you're dirt, but people relate to the nitty-gritty details of everyday life and how you're living amazingly despite having those things in your life. And that's your brand. That's your brand. And I want to talk about that tonight. And it's kind of cool that we're talking about this because this is I've been talking about this since I became a coach. For some reason, it's always felt like deeply ingrained in me, like this whole branding yourself, just be yourself, be yourself. And for some reason, I feel like that's something that's like a strength of mine. And it's cool because I get to talk to my coaches on my team about this all the time. They have everybody struggles with this, including me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect at this and I don't have it all figured out. But I have coaches that constantly are coming to me like, Caleb, like one of them just today, I just had a conversation today about, they don't feel credible in this business because they're a brand new coach. They're not making any money because nobody makes good money when they first start. At least I know I didn't. It took me like 6 months to make $1. And then, she's just like, I don't know. I'm so excited about what I'm doing and where I'm going and what I'm creating for my future, but I have nothing to talk about now. Like, how can I possibly encourage somebody else to do this with me? And I was like, that's just it though. Own that. Own the fact that you're not getting anything out of it yet, but be so passionate and excited about where you're going and show your belief is 110% and there's like no way it won't happen. And that's so much more than enough to encourage somebody. I almost said sell. I hate that word. To encourage somebody to become a coach with you. Because if you're like, dude, I just signed up, but this is the best freaking opportunity and I'm doing so much and I'm talking to everybody because it's so exciting and I can't wait to see where I go in like 3 years from now. It's going to be amazing. And there's people walking across the stage because they're millionaires after like 4 years in this business. And it's like, that's going to be me. Like, how can you not buy into that kind of excitement? Seriously. I'm a brand new coach and I just signed up yesterday, but I just inspired you guys just by showing you my passion and excitement for what you're doing. So that was a little bunny trail, but everybody has something they can share. Everybody, whether you're a brand new coach or whether you're a seasoned veteran, everybody has this amazing brand and it's called you. And that's what we're going to talk about. But tonight, before we get started, I know we're already 8 minutes into this call. Sorry, but I wanted to tell you sort of my story and how I got started with Beachbody. And I think that's something that everybody needs to share because everybody has a unique story and it's powerful. Like your story, I believe, is your most powerful tool because your story is you. You're unique from everybody else on this planet. So for me, I got started in Beachbody when I was back in college. I was living a really sedentary lifestyle. I was a trumpet performance major. I was a professional band nerd. And so I got lots of time with a trumpet in a secluded room, just me and my trumpet. And literally I practiced for like 8 hours a day and would just sit in a chair under a fluorescent light and like play this trumpet all day long. And I started developing these lower back issues because I was constantly hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And like I had these weird digestive issues start to happen. Don't ask, I won't tell you. It's a little bit too much information. And it was frustrating because I had experience being in tip-top shape. I used to be a like nationally ranked competitive swimmer back middle school, high school. And so I knew what it was like to be in tip-top athletic shape. And then going from that to, being completely sedentary, like shocked me. And I was like, what happened to me? And I was, this is the best part of the story. So there's a couple good parts. I was laying on my bed in my apartment, eating a pizza on a Thursday night because it was $7.16 Papa John's pizza special night. And there's a Papa John's right across the street from me. So I went and got my pizza for the week with the garlic dipping sauce. Oh, so good. And I was eating it on my bed and I was watching YouTube videos, ironically. That's how I killed all my time. I had no life. I was just like, I'll just watch YouTube videos and eat pizza. and this guy pops on the screen. Does anyone recognize the name Wayne Wyatt? Anybody? Wayne Wyatt? Yeah, okay, a couple hands. The dude was top coach 2 years in a row. I think it was 2011 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Amazing guy. Totally look up to him. Family man, man of faith, just hard worker, entrepreneur, master, everything. And he gets on this commercial and he's like, I did P90X and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I literally picked up weights until I bled out my butt and like my eyeballs popped out and I stuffed them back in. And then I had abs and it was the best feeling ever. And he was so excited about these results. And he went from like fluffy uppagus to Greek god ripped Zeus, like throwing lightning bolts at the camera on YouTube. And I wanted what he had. So I immediately decided at that point, I'm going to do P90X. I have no money. I don't know where I'm going to get it. So I got on Craigslist, found it on Craigslist. I was one of those people, I know, burn me at the stake. And Erica's like, no, get him off my cow. But hey, just a point of encouragement for you guys. If you guys are faced with that, because you will be if you haven't already, someone's like, oh, I'm so excited. You encouraged me. I got it off of Amazon. Work with me. And you're like, what the no, like, why would you go kill yourself? Like, why would you do that? Like, it's the worst. No, I don't actually mean that. I'm being unapologetic here. Like, why would you do that? Those are the kind of people that I was that kind of person where I was working with a coach and he's like, oh, I'd love to help you get started. I'm like, no, I can find it cheaper. I don't need your help. And I go buy it. So don't give up on those people because they could be your next big rock star. But anyway, I went on Craigslist. The story's almost done, I promise. Got on Craigslist, found the DVDs, bought them off of the Craigslist, and met this guy at a gas station parking lot. This is the best part of the story. I met this guy at the gas station parking lot, okay? We see each other from opposite corners of the parking lot. We're both wearing hoodies because it's cold. It's like fall. And we're like looking around all shady. It's dark out, so there's like one light in the corner of the parking lot, and it's like, it was probably flashing like an awkward horror story. And we walked towards each other, and we neither of us had obviously ever done this before, so we didn't know how this worked. And he just kind of looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, do you have the DVDs? And he goes, yeah. Do you have the money? And I was like, yeah. And we held out the money and the DVDs, and we both grabbed them, but neither of us let go because we were like afraid that we were going to get robbed. So we did this like awkward tug of war thing for like what felt like 3 minutes. And then we both let go and we went separate ways, and we just literally turned around and walked away from each other like, oh my gosh, that was the scariest thing that ever happened in my life. And I swear, if somebody saw it, I bet people were in the gas station, they're like, dude, totally just saw a drug deal go down. That was awesome, crazy. But that was how I got P90X, and that's how I got started. And I kind of joke around that it was the healthiest drug deal that ever happened in State College because I got amazing results from P90X. I had an amazing transformation. Something happened in my brain where I just like flipped that switch, and I went to eating 100% clean. And it's not normal. Like, I was kind of a freak. I did that weird, crazy thing. I didn't miss a single day of P90X. I just went all out and got amazing results, and it was phenomenal. And then, the roller coaster began, and I started getting results and losing them and getting results and losing them. But the first round I went through was just awesome, and it changed my life. My schooling went different. My trumpet playing actually got better because I was in good shape. Go figure. All these amazing things started happening, and long story short, the coach that I signed up for free, for a free Shakeology sample, honestly, he saw my results. He's like, dude, you got to get in this. You got to do this. You're inspiring the daylights out of people, and you don't even realize it. And I wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing. Because it was one of those slimy salesman pyramid scheme crap. I don't want, and I'm a Christian, and I have morals, and I can't do that kind of junk. Okay? I got to get a real job. Those were the things I said to him. And I was so dumb and so thick. I had no clue what I was talking about. I was a hater. I was one of those people that, they're like, well, if you got haters, you're doing something right. I was one of them. I was one of those people that was like, no, you're disgusting. Get out of my face. Just give me my products and leave me alone. And he didn't give up on me for 3 years. For 3 years. 1, 2, 3. He stayed on my case and was like, no, I believe in you, and you're going to figure this out eventually, and you're going to sign up as a coach with me, and you're going to be amazing at it. And even though you don't see it right now, I'm going to keep incessantly bugging you until you literally can't handle it anymore and you become a coach. And that's what happened for 3 years. He was on my case. So who's ever asked somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to be amazing. And you have somebody in your challenge group or your best friend or whatever that's like super into fitness, or like that guy at the gym or that chick at the gym, and you're like, oh, they would be the best at coaching. And you're like, oh, I want to tell you about this opportunity. You'd be amazing at it. And they'd be like, no. Who's ever gone through that? Like, it's immediately like, no. Like, just nothing. Don't give up on those people. Even if it takes 3 years, because that's what it took for me. 3 years. And now I'm here because he was a never give up personality. He never gave up on me. He believed in me before I even believed in myself. And now it's my job. I take it as my personal job to pay that forward and encourage you guys not to give up on that one person that's giving you a hard time, because you never know. Like, you seriously cannot read the future. And if you can make changes in their lives, you can influence them for the better just by never giving up on them and believing in them even when they don't believe in you or themselves. Okay. So that's the point of encouragement. Don't give up on those people. Then I became a coach. Okay. 17 minutes into this call, finally, I became a Beachbody coach. And it was amazing because as soon as I became a coach, it was one of those times where I felt like I could just finally, like, do this thing that I could just like wrap around myself. And, it wasn't like, I tried going to state police. I had to conform. I tried to go into the military to be an aviator. That had to conform. I got my pilot's license. Well, I had to conform to like fit that world. I tried being a contractor. I had to do things I didn't want to do there. I finally just threw up the flag and was like, all right, I'll just be a server. I'll just go to a restaurant and be a busser and then a server. And I had to conform, and I got yelled at because I didn't shave, and like my pants were too dark, or my pants were too light, and my shirt was too dark, and I like got yelled at for stupid stuff like that. And I was like, I'm tired of this crap. Like, I'm tired of being told what I can and can't do. And as soon as I became a coach, I realized I had complete freedom, and it was like I could just be myself and wrap this thing around me like a blanket, and it was amazing. It was the best feeling ever. I could just be myself. And so I'm super excited to talk about this because it's literally been within like this, maybe the past 6 months, that it's really become clear to me, and that I've really kind of discovered or maybe rediscovered my brand. And it took me 6 months to really get started with my business. And then, like a year and a half to really get it after that. But and I'm certainly still learning and growing, but I think I'll be able to give you a couple nuggets tonight that will help you guys. If you don't at least figure it out, you'll at least be able to think about it and realize that it's something that deserves your attention, and it's your brand. So we're going to ask a couple questions, and we're just going to kind of answer them. Well, I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then I'm going to answer them for myself in front of you guys. That's how I present. But okay, so tonight, what the heck does this branding thing even mean? We're just going to dive right in. What does that even mean? Like, why are we even talking about this? Okay, so you always hear people saying your brand, or finding your niche in the market, or making this business your own, or standing out from the crowd, or being unique, or leaving your skid mark on the world, or whatever. And those are all great, but I'm really simple, and I'm kind of dumb sometimes, so I like it as basic as you can get. And this is what I call branding yourself, and this is what we're talking about tonight. To me, branding yourself means being you, and then saying, oh, that's my brand. Wow. Like, and I know Erica's like, seriously? That's it? That's the big nugget? That's the big takeaway tonight? It is, because it's huge, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk until I'm blue in the face. But be you, and then call it your brand. And I know it sounds so simple, but hang with me. So next question: Why is creating a brand even important? Like why? What's the point? Like, why should we even be thinking about this? Okay, so here's what it comes down to: the leaders of this business, or any business, really, they're constantly taking the time to think about what makes them unique. And because they have their brand established, they attract people to them. They attract more people to them. I mean, who wants to create an attraction market where, you just be yourself and then people flock to you because, hey, I want what he has, or I want what she has. How nice would that be? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what a brand is all about. And it's kind of like, people that want to drive Fords, they go to a Ford dealership. People that want to drive Hondas, they waddle themselves over to the Honda dealership and they drive Hondas. It's exactly the same for us coaches. You don't go to a Ford dealership if you want to drive Honda. You don't go to a Honda dealership if you want to drive Ford. And that's because you understand brands. And we need to be thinking about that because it works the exact same way for us. If we don't have a brand, if we're not owning who we are, people aren't going to come to you because they're going to be like, well, I don't know what they're up to, but we'll just go over here because Lindsay Matway, she's got an amazing brand and I relate to her brand. I want that. That's a brand. That's one of the strong examples in this company. Everybody who knows Lindsay Matway. Yeah, lots of hands. She's a brand. She's an expert at branding herself. Now, that's not to say it's the right brand for everybody. And lots of people go to her that could be going to other people. But her brand is so strong that she attracts those people anyway. And they find out later that, okay, maybe this is not the right brand. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not speaking down about Lindsay at all. She's my close friend and she's amazing at what she does. But her brand is so strong and polarized that, other people think, well, I can't compete against that. But you can. You totally can, just by being you, by being your unique, beautiful self. And we'll keep, where'd my notes go? Okay, they're back. Oh, my screen's freaking out. Okay, so check this out. This is cool. This is a kind of fun little thing I like to remind everybody here. You guys know that I'm a man of faith. If you don't, I'll tell you I'm a man of faith. And I love Jesus with all my heart. And this is the fun thing. There are over 7 billion people on this earth. I think the last time I looked, because I'm a nerd and I look at these kind of things, I think it was like 7.26 billion people. That's a lot of people. That's like a lot of peeps. And the cool thing about that is despite having so many people smushed onto this planet, every single one of them, God created differently. Everybody's unique. And that's so freaking hard for me to fathom because I literally can only come up with one recipe for chocolate Shakeology. And I don't know like how to mix up chocolate Shakeology other than with just water because it gets too complicated for me. But he came up with so many different recipes for humans. And when you think about that, that means you're unique from everybody else out there. You have things that make you different and special. And that is what we need to capitalize on when we're trying to stand out in this business, because you have something special to offer and you should never, ever believe that you don't. And it's important to think about this stuff because it just is. I mean, even if we're not Beachbody coaches, even if we're just like a bunch of random people getting together randomly on a Zoom call, like you guys need to understand this. You need to understand that you've got a purpose for being here. Like you're not just a cookie clone, like, oh, okay, you go out, live, take up some space and breathe some air. Like, no, you guys have a purpose. And you guys are all unique to fulfill those individual purposes, which is amazing. So, okay, well, bunny trust, sorry. We're getting into the sentimental stuff. So what are some examples of brands? We're going to kind of like touch on some ideas. Okay, so here's some ideas of what a brand could look like. Maybe you have a dog with a crazy personality. Maybe you're a Christian. Maybe you're a pilot. And maybe your dream is to build financial freedom so you can live a life of abundant giving. And maybe you like being in the mountains. and maybe you're, I don't know, a member of the Masters Hammer and Chisel test group. And maybe you like making people smile and laugh by making crazy zany videos in your basement next to a water heater that rattles. I hope some of these sound familiar because that's my brand. Hello! That's me. That's who I am. That's me. And it's not really, I mean, there's some unique things on there, yeah, whatever, but it's not anything like earth-shattering. I mean, what's the big deal? We're going to talk about that right now, actually. So when you hear my brand, you've heard other people that have dogs. You've heard of other people that have dogs. You've met other pilots before, I'm sure, or you've seen other coaches out there in test groups, or you've seen other single mothers, or you've seen other parents, or you've seen other gymnasts, or, there's nothing unique about, what people do out there. But here's the cool thing. So this is a fun analogy. I feel like I'm all over tonight. It's okay. I'll own it. Unapologetic. Okay, so this is a little master lock. Okay, you've all seen these before. It's just like a little lock. Has anybody seen the video that I've done with this? Anybody? Yes. Okay, good. Fresh faces. Okay, so this is a little master lock. Okay, and it's one of those ones that has the dials on it, and there's numbers on all these dials, right? And the numbers go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then back to 0. Okay. Now, when I just told you the numbers that are on those dials, did any of those numbers leap out at you like, I've never heard that number before? He just said a number that I've never heard before, and that's why that lock works. Anybody? No? Okay. Are we catching on yet? Okay. So when you take your numbers and you set your dials to who you are and you line them all up and that's your combination, something amazing happens. Let me do it. I forget my combination. Okay, got it. Boom! The lock unlocks. Okay, everybody still with me? The combination makes the lock work. That's you guys. And when you look at this combination, it's like, well, okay, number 6 is he likes reading books, and number 4 is he's a trumpet player, and number 3 is he owns a dog, and number 9 is he likes being outside. What's so special about any of that stuff? The combination is what's special. The combination of what you are makes you unique because nobody else has your combination. Now, I only gave 4 examples here, okay? But your combination is like into infinity almost. Like you guys have so many amazing things that make you you. But when you look at them individually, when you look at those little numbers on the dials, you're like, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? I mean, I've seen that number all over the place. I've seen people that have bombshell blonde hair before. What's the big deal? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. It's not the one individual thing. It's not the one individual number on the combination. It's the combination that makes you unique and beautiful and makes your lock work, okay? Does everybody get that analogy? Does everyone understand how simple this is? Just being yourself, and then suddenly, boom, it works, okay? So here's the problem, though, with this analogy. It's a lock. I don't get it, Caleb. No, hang with me. So the problem with this analogy is people see other people's combinations. Like, okay, let's just say you see Scotty Hobbs, and you're like, ooh, Scotty Hobbs. Okay, he has kids. That's one thing. I'm gonna own that. And he lives in Idaho. Oh, I'm gonna own that. And he plays in a band. Oh, I'm gonna go play in a band. And so you start playing in a band. And then he likes doing flips on his snowboard and breaking his collarbone. You're like, I want to do that. So you do that, and you put that number in, and you start doing everything that Scotty Hobbs does to the T because it's working so well for him. It's like, of course it's gonna work. Your lock doesn't work because that's his combination, and you're trying to put his combination into your lock, okay? So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be some overlap. Like sometimes you're going to see some numbers that other people have, and you shouldn't run away from that. You should own that unapologetically. That's where the unapologetic thing comes into play. But it's the numbers or the sequence of things that other people don't have that makes you unique. Okay. It's so simple. It's seriously so simple. Just being yourself in all of your nitty gritty details, the things you like, the things you don't like, put that out there. And that's what will work for you over time. That's your combination. That's your brand. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So next question, how do I create my brand? What do I even do to figure this out? And this is, again, super simple. And I'm not going to overcomplicate this for you. And I'm not going to make you overthink this or overanalyze it. Figuring out your brand is as simple as being yourself and living it publicly, putting it out there. I mean, how many people have been a little bit afraid to share something because you're like, oh, I don't know what people would think of me. It's a little nervous, a little scary. Yeah, nobody's putting their hands up. Okay, everybody put them up because I know you all have. Yeah, Erica's like, pick me. No, everybody has stuff that you're scared of sharing. But those are the things I want you to share. Like, those are the things, okay, if I'm allowed to tell you to do anything, go share that crap because that's what makes you relatable, okay? Be yourself. In all parts of yourself. Don't just like sugarcoat and be like, it's happy, like so fun. It's all so good. Like, because it's not. And when you show that, people are like, they're lying. There's no way. Like, unless they're an alien. Well, I don't think they're an alien. But yeah, okay. Anyway, own it. Get vulnerable with people. Like, the things that you get vulnerable with are the things that connect you to other people. Because like I was telling my coach today, she's like, I don't have the big paychecks. I don't have the rank. I don't even have a team. I don't even have any coaches on my team yet. Like, how can I possibly connect people to this opportunity? Because like, I have no credibility. I have nothing to show for it. It's like, no, get vulnerable with people, because people that are exactly where you are right now will become coaches if you show them that you're going somewhere and you're right there where they are. Okay. It's kind of like a fitness transformation. People are like, oh, I'm going to wait until I have my transformation finished to become an active coach. They're like, great. That sounds good on paper, or it sounds good to you. But really what's going to happen is you're going to get your results, and then you're going to say, hey, everybody, you can do this. I was here and now I'm here. And they're like, but what happened in between here? Like, I don't know how to make that. How do you were here and now you're here? Like, what happened in here? I don't get it. Show the in here stuff. Show that stuff. Like, be vulnerable enough to be human, to own your story, own your brand. And that's what makes you relatable. And people that are here, you start here, and people that are here, they're like, oh, look how close we are. I can relate to you. Okay, let's do this together. And you're like, oh, well, this is so much fun. Look at this. Oh, and then they go through this amazing transformation together because you were relatable along the way. Okay? So that's a little thing about relatable. I'll just touch on this one for a second because we're going on 35 minutes here. So one thing a lot of new coaches do, they sign up. Who's a new coach? Oh, little babies. Hi. How many months have you been the coach? 0, 2, 2 months, 1 month. Who else? 5 months. Okay. Oh, you're so cute. No, seriously, I'm over 2 years into this, and I'm like, I'm still a baby. Where's my bottle? But yeah, totally just derailed myself. What was I talking about? Why are you all laughing at me? Totally.
You were talking about no, I don't remember.
Wow.
Who remembers? Somebody chat.
Hammer and chisel is killing me.
No.
Oh, okay. I got it. We're good.
Oh yeah,
crisis averted. Okay, so a lot of new coaches, new baby coaches, cute baby coaches, they sign up and they're like, you know what? I don't have my brand thing figured out, so I'll just brand myself as Beachbody Coach. Like, I'll just, I don't know if I'm comfortable sharing the details like Caleb's encouraging us to share, so I'll just, do the Beachbody Coach thing, Beachbody, and I'll put some links up for people, and if they want to, click on the links, they'll go in, or if they want to, Beachbody does such a great job providing those graphics when they release programs. I'll just grab those and share those because they look so good. They're so professional. And here's the problem with doing that. When you brand yourself as Beachbody, like, hey guys, click my link, I'm a Beachbody coach, or check out this sale, or Shakeology, or challenge pack is up this week, or, you know, blah, 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 business opportunity, this, that, and it's blatantly Beachbody and it does not incorporate you into the picture at all, you are literally trying to compete against Team Beachbody, against Beachbody. And here's the secret. Beachbody is a $1 billion+ a year brand. You are not. You will lose. They will win every single time in the branding battle because they're the ones that created the products you're trying to brand. Okay? So when people are like, oh, I'll just post tons of Beachbody crap, I'll just post nothing but generic Google image searches for Beachbody products, or, you know, even anywhere something closely related to that, you're competing against a company that already has a brand, and nobody's going to buy into it because that's not you. You are not Beachbody, okay? I want to shift something for you guys. If you guys are thinking about this differently, if you're like, okay, I'm going to use my Facebook or my Instagram to grow my Beachbody business, how can I do that? Flip it around. Flip it around. Beachbody is going to grow because of my Instagram, because of my Facebook, because people are attracted to me, okay? Not to Beachbody, because when people are attracted to Beachbody, they go to Beachbody. Attract people to you, the person that you are, and then make the connections to Beachbody, okay? You want to attract people to Jessica Singer and Jackie and Cindy Slavic, and did I say that right? Slavic? Slavic? Arr. I don't know why I just did that. Or Erica, or Kimberly, or Ashley, or Angelina, or Jess, or 1-585-704-5208, or whoever that is. You guys are the people that you want to attract people to you, okay? You don't want to attract people to generic Beachbody. So be yourself and intertwine Beachbody into your life, okay? Your Facebook page should be about you, not about Beachbody. Make it about you and show how Beachbody is a part of you, okay? Yeah, that's important. We screw up social media so often. Beachbody coaches are the worst. They're the worst, absolute worst. I mean, think about it. Like you one day, you're just chilling. Like, hey, I'm Caitlin LaRose, just chilling here, owning my Facebook, sharing my life story, you know. Oh, got lots of likes on that picture. And then suddenly the next day you're like, Beachbody, 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 Beachbody. People are like, what happened to Caitlin? Pretty sure she got hacked. Better not, what's the word? Connect. No, not connect. Interact. Better not interact with her anymore because she's obviously not Caitlin anymore. She's a salesperson. That's not what I want to be interacting with. Okay? Sorry. Spent enough time on that. Beat that horse dead. Okay, so a couple tips. We're gonna end this. I'll wrap this up in the next 3 hours. Stay consistent with your brand. Please stay consistent because think about this. Okay, so think about like Apple. You know what you're gonna get when you go to the Apple website, right? Computers, phones, iPads, and iTunes, okay? That's because that's Apple. That's their brand. And they're so dang consistent with it. They're amazing. And what would happen if you went to Apple tomorrow? You're like, oh, I really want to get a new computer. It's time. I'm going to go for the iMac. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to get that 60-inch screen on my desk. And they're like, well, we're actually a toothpaste company now, folks. Best toothpaste you ever had. You're like, what just happened? Okay, it's because they stopped being consistent. So now you're going to go somewhere else. Okay, we do that all the time. Okay, pick a brand, pick yourself, and do those 3 or 4 or 5 things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that consistency creates the brand over a long period of time. Okay, let's see here. Don't discredit yourself. This is the next tip. Don't discredit yourself. I mean, I know there's still people on this call even right now. They're like, all this brand stuff is really good, but I just don't have anything like that. I just don't have a brand. I don't have anything. Don't do that. Stop discrediting yourself. I'm looking at you right now. I see you. Yep. Everyone that smiled, I know you're thinking that right now. No, just kidding. Seriously, though, don't discredit yourself. Going back to Apple, think about when the iPod came out. I love this story. This is the best story ever about tech stuff. I'm a little bit of a nerd. So when the iPod came out, Steve Jobs was just like, this is going to be the biggest product release ever. It's going to be the best thing ever. iPod is going to revolutionize music, mobile. It's going to be phenomenal. And they anticipated like millions of sales of these things. Okay. First time iPod had ever been introduced. Everyone was like, wow, that's amazing. And then they sold like 200,000 of them. Okay. It was a flop. It was horrible. And Steve Jobs was like, no, I'm not going to discredit my innovation here. I believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. People are going to get it in time. Next year, flop. They lost money. Next year, 3 years in a row, terrible flop. And not only did their iPod sales go down, the rest of the entire company went down because they were investing so much into the iPad. Steve Jobs was consistent, and he did not discredit his invention because he knew what was going to happen. I mean, that 3-year period of time, people were walking around with their CD players still. They're like, what's that thing? They're like, oh, it's an iPod. It's awesome. I can fit 4 whole songs on this thing. No CDs either. They're like, I can fit 20 songs on a CD. You're stupid. Why'd you get that thing? Why'd you pay $300 for that? That's dumb. Steve Jobs had that vision for the future, and he didn't discredit himself, and he hung in there, and in the 4th year, boom, it happened. People caught the vision because he didn't discredit it right from the start. Okay, who's ever had an iPod? Who's ever had an Apple iPhone? Who's ever had an Apple product? Yes, that's because Steve Jobs didn't discredit himself. He didn't say, well, this isn't, my brand is just, I don't have anything here. He did. He knew what he had, and he owned it unapologetically. So I want to encourage you guys to own who you are unapologetically and put it out there. And maybe it'll take 3 years. Oh gosh, we won't get instant gratification. But 3 years from now, people will know who Valerie is. People will know who Can is, or Susie, or I always said Susie. Who else did? Jess, or Kimberly, or I'm going to try and say everybody. T.G. Downing, or Francine. Francesca. That reminds me of Buddy the Elf. Didn't he say that? Francesca, it's nice. I like that. Anyway, or Brent. Guy, shout out to my dude. Yeah, Brent. Men represented. It's kind of cool because we're right beside each other on the screen. Like, we'll just stay up here in this corner. You guys get down there. Crazy. Anyway, but yeah, don't discredit yourself. You guys are unique. You guys have something amazing to offer. And I want you guys to, last tip, exude some confidence. Seriously, everybody can be more confident. And this is like a humbly confident kind of thing. You guys have permission to own who you are. You guys have permission to just be like, hey, yeah, I'm pretty cool. I am pretty cool. I have a lot of things to offer you guys, and I'd love to share that stuff with you. That's cool. And I think that's what we're designed to do. I mean, we're not just here to just take up time and space. You guys are here to help other people. So, you know, all business stuff aside, attraction marketing or whatever, my prayer for you guys tonight is that you do see, and we're going to get a little sappy here, that you guys do see how, incredible you are, and that how much you have to offer this world. And that, I pray that you, from this point forward, you confidently approach everything, your businesses as coaches, your work, your marriages, your families, your friends, your coworkers, your congregations, your just everybody, with the belief that you do have something amazing to offer, and you can impact the lives of other people in your life. And that's because God designed you to do that. I mean, this is the thing. Last little nugget that I'm going to leave you with. I know we're going to close this off here and you have questions or whatever, but if you don't own who you are and use your influence, there's at least one person in your circle that will only ever be influenced by you, okay? There's somebody out there that's waiting to make a decision that will never get to the chance to make that decision unless you put it in front of them, unless they see your example, unless you go to them, unless they somehow cross paths with you. And it doesn't matter how many other Beachbody coaches there ever are. There could be 100 million Beachbody coaches on this earth next year. It doesn't matter, because that one person out there, or that 2 people, or that 5 people, however many people it is, there's somebody out there that will only relate to you. And it would be a crying shame if that person missed their opportunity because you decided not to live your life unapologetically, and because you decided not to own the person you are, and because you decided not to keep your combination in your lock, and you decided to try and put somebody else's combination in, because that never works, okay? There's at least one person out there that will only ever connect to you. And I want to challenge you to be who you are purposefully so that you can connect to that one person, okay? That's what I want to close with, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for being here and watching and laughing and hopefully learning something and maybe being inspired or whatever. Thank you, Erica, for having me, and hope I didn't go too long.
No, not at all. We have some questions for you. Do you have a few more minutes?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So first of all, I keep getting text messages of people saying I'm crying right now because you were like laughing and inspiring us throughout this whole thing. I think we went from like, this is so hysterical and he's so entertaining to like, oh my gosh, that was the best motivational speech ever. But I do have a question for you that I think would really help my team is, I always talk about branding, like when they get started and I'm like, so let's talk about you and what you like. And granted, you have to kind of keep this mindset, like they just signed up, they're getting their feet wet and like, you know, this whole Beachbody thing. And they're like, I love to work out and I love to eat clean all the time. That's definitely my brand. And I think they think that because like they're a Beachbody coach, they're like, I have to be this like brand of working out and eating clean. And that's kind of how like it unfolds to being like Beachbody, 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 Beachbody. How
they're like, oh, I just love helping people.
Yes. That's my favorite one by far. Yeah. Why are you a Beachbody coach? Because I love helping everybody. But so how do you get people to realize what they are outside of Beachbody? Do you ask them questions? Do you just kind of like make them think about it? Like, is there a way that you get them to figure out their brand specifically?
Well, when it comes to that, like first conversation with somebody where they're like, I just signed up a coach with you because I'm so excited. And I'm like, okay, why'd you sign up as a coach? Like, why? Like, what are you going to do with it? And they're like, well, I just love working out and I love fitness and I love, you know, eating clean. And I just really want to help people. You're like, okay, great. By default, you're a Beachbody coach. That's what we do. That's the job description. You're going to do it. No problem. What other things do you do? Like, what makes you, you know, just I'm blunt with people. Like when they sign up on my team and they give me those generic responses, be like, yeah, that's great. Everybody gives me that response because everybody that signs up as a Beachbody coach already understands that. So let's get to the good stuff that makes you you. Like, tell me your life story. Tell me about that time your kid got sick when they were born. Like, tell me about that time, you know, somebody hit you when you were driving somewhere and you were crippled. Or tell me about that time, you know, I have a questionnaire that I send my new coaches for our GSR call. And I say, listen, pour yourself into this. Like, leave nothing uncovered because we're going to talk about that stuff. And they don't quite understand it until we get on the phone and be like, listen, those things are your story. And those are what you're going to inspire the daylights out of people with. Everybody's got a story. Everybody. You know, and if you think you don't, it's because you haven't sat long enough to think about it, honestly. Or you're trying to keep those things hidden. And you're like, oh, I don't actually have anything. You're like, actually, no, let me just take off that layer of dirt and look at this gem. Like, let's talk about that. You know, everybody has something like that. Who's ever struggled with something before? Yeah, talk about that. Talk about that. Somebody out there can relate to it for sure. For sizzle.
For sizzle. Okay, Caitlin LaRose would like to know, a lot of guys think that Beachbody is a girly thing to do. How do you overcome that? Or do you have any advice on that?
Show them my abs. No, just kidding. No. I think it's just an excuse. You know, like I get so many dudes. They're like, yo, bro, just a quick question. Seems like a lot of chicks. How you you know, like that's just an excuse. You're already making an excuse for yourself. People are like, well, this seems like a female dominated company. Did you realize that when Beachbody first started, it was 90% males? Like, women just started owning it more. Like, women started owning their stories more and inspiring more people than men, because men started making that stupid excuse. I'm here to take it back. Just saying. Sorry.
You and Brent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did anybody else have any other questions? You guys can unmute yourselves and ask yourself. I don't have to ask them for you.
Questions. Did that answer the question about the men versus women thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think essentially what you were saying is tell them, like, that's a really great excuse, but do you have another one of why you don't want to become a coach?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of like, well, it's no different. I mean, there's more men on Earth than women, so you've got a better market already if you're a dude. Think about it. I mean, if you won't pull that card on me, I can pull the numbers on you. Whatever. It's just a willingness to be vulnerable. I think that's really that's what it comes down to. Is and I might get kicked off this call if I say something wrong here, but I feel like women are usually, and oh my gosh, I feel like I'm digging myself into a grave. I feel like women are more willing to share, are more willing to talk, more willing to be like, oh, I'm struggling with this today. Look at my nails. Like, they're more willing to talk. Men are just kind of like, I don't need help. I'm fine. Meanwhile, they're like, I don't know, a mess.
So I guess kind of going off of something you just said, how do you deal with the haters? Because obviously putting yourself out there is, something that I'm sure has got to be a little bit hard, especially with like that stuff that's like really sentimental. I know something that, like, I'll share it personally. My in-laws do not support what I do at all. My future in-laws do not support what I do at all. And like, they'll always say at like family parties, like, I saw that Facebook post, but they'll never like comment or like on it. And so for me, like, I know I struggled a lot with that. Do you have any experience with like any haters or crazy who don't like what you do?
No, I never have haters. Come on, I profess my faith on Facebook in front of thousands and thousands of people. Yes, I get haters. I don't know. It's one of those deals where time always changes everything. I'm a huge believer in the power of time passing, and your job as a coach is to be here 3 years from now when your haters are your biggest followers, because that's the only way that's going to happen, is if you don't give them the opportunity to say, I was right about that person. My hate against them was totally warranted because they quit. I knew they would. I knew that was a scam. I knew that was just one of those stupid things they've tried before. Your job is to prove them wrong. I mean, in a loving, kind, respectful way. And then be there when they finally see the vision that you see. And because if you're not there for them, maybe they're that one person that will never get their opportunity because you gave up or whatever. So I always think about my story too, because I used to be a hater. Like, I used to be the guy that was like, you guys are like literally telling my coach, I was like, I don't want to be involved in a pyramid scheme. Seriously? Okay, network marketing. It looks like a pyramid to me. Okay, it's a pyramid. I was that guy. And now I'm the one that's, putting videos up about it not being a pyramid scheme. And I'm the one trying to get that message across there. And I have haters now. And it's just kind of like, it's kind of funny, full circle. Someday they're going to be the ones giving the same message I'm giving them, because I believe that's going to happen in time. So, yeah. It's like water off of a duck's back.
I really love your analogies.
I speak in analogies.
The lock one was very good. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
Anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, we can wrap it up for the night.
Who's got haters? Yeah. You're doing something right. Yep. Yeah, my sister is my biggest hater.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have 3 sisters, and one of them is like, I think there's a theme of jealousy, unfortunately. I love her to death, and I love on her all the time, and I foresee a amazing day when I can take this little thing on my dream board and hand it to her and be like, hey, go enjoy that trip to Disney with your family. It's on me. That little thing I was doing, yeah. That little thing. Yeah. No big deal.
I love it.
Yeah. One time I asked you to buy that Shakeology stuff, and go enjoy the trip. We'll talk about it when you're home.
Shakeout?
Yeah. When you're home, we'll talk about it. Just for now, just enjoy that week-long vacation in Disney with your family. All on me. I'll cover everything. That little thing. Don't worry about it.
Too funny. All right, you guys. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, I just want to thank you again, Caleb, again, for spending the time with us and to kind of share your story, your journey, and really just give us this motivation and inspiration. And I encourage all of you to go post something unapologetically you right now on Facebook. I don't know if it's a good time or not. I'm not really great with that whole timing thing, but I say just go do it. Go post something scary and, let the haters hate, right?
Seriously, guys, I can't shut up. Sorry.
That's okay.
When you get vulnerable is when people will literally come out of the woodwork. I mean, you're going to get the haters, but you will literally have people come out of the woodwork to support you, because when they see you vulnerable out there, there's like this human instinct that when somebody's out there struggling, like if somebody's in a car burning, you're going to do something about it. Like you're going to either like start making a ton of noise to attract somebody that can help them, or you're going to like push their car into a river, or you're going to do something to pull them out, or you're going to like get on the phone. You're not unsympathetic. And when you show that you're vulnerable and you're in a position of like, this is what I'm struggling with, but I'm working through it, other people will come out and other people will be like, I relate to you because I'm a human. So, just do it. I know it's terrifying. I know it is. Every single time that I post something that's like really vulnerable, it's like, oh my gosh. But it always works. It always works. Someone will message me. They'll be like, oh my gosh, that post you just made totally touched my heart. Tell me more about this Beachbody stuff. Tell me more how you got into this. Yeah.
And that's with not even posting about Beachbody, right? Am I right? Or that was a question. Sorry.
Yeah. Like my posts, are, like there's a lot that are, about Beachbody because, I know I have a ton of Beachbody coaches, and one of the things that I take upon myself is to like provide value for Beachbody coaches. But when I'm making one of my vulnerable posts, it's like my life. And then at the very end, I'll be like, but it's all changing because of this amazing thing called Beachbody. And I just leave that little tagline at the end, or that little like hint of it in there. And people are like, huh, he's been talking about that for 2 years now. It must really be happening. That's cool. Consistency. Yeah. Good stuff.
That's a great point. Everybody's all smiley at you.
Smiling's my favorite.
You must love the movie Elf too.
I do. It's miraculous. Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you again, Caleb. You guys, thanks for hopping on. I will record this, get this up on YouTube, send out the link, and thanks again, Caleb. We really enjoyed it.
Thanks for spending an hour with me. See you guys.
Have a good night, everyone.